So the first topic I'm going to talk about is the fact that, for me personally, it's kind of a slow start to 2024 when it comes to movies. Like, there's really nothing in January for everybody that I'm all excited to see. Like, it's not until March when it comes to movies that I'm actually excited to see. Like, in March, you got Doom Part 2, so I can't wait for that. You have Ghostbusters, The Empire Frozen, can't wait for that. And then you have Damsel, which is a movie that I'm excited for. That's coming from Netflix with the actress who plays Eleven in Stranger Things. I know that movie was supposed to come out last year, and then Netflix moved it to this year. But yeah, it's not really until Moss that I'm excited for any movies. So just personally for me, it's definitely gonna be a slow start to the movie year. The next thing I want to talk about is the fact that Scream 7 has lost its director. The director quit, and this sucks to hear. This movie has been through so much bad luck right now. The studio spyglass, they fired the main actress because the comments she posted about the Amazon War was, I didn't personally think she said anything bad just based on the comments. So you lost your main actress, your main character there, and then Jenna Ortega wasn't apparently going to be coming back to the movie anyway because of scheduling with the Wednesday show. And whether that's completely true, who knows? But you lost both your actresses there, and now the director quit. And just it sucks to hear this because this director was such a fan of the franchise. From what I heard, like he directed Freaky and the two Happy Death Day movies, and I love the first Happy Death Day movie. I love Freaky. I thought he was a great, and I enjoyed the second Happy Death Day. I thought he was a great fit for the Scream franchise. And just when you hear his comment that he posted saying, it's a dream job that turned into a nightmare, you can really tell how much he loved the franchise. And I just thought he was a great fit for it. And I think he would have done a great job as a director. Now, when it comes to options that I think they have right now, I know some people are saying, the Scream franchise is dead. I'm like, no, it's not. The Scream franchise is not going to die. But I think you have two options here, I would say, is you can try to get Nevo Campbell to play Cindy, because I know there's been reports going around of trying to get her back. I mean, you could try to get her back and do a story with her, and I know they referenced in Scream 5 that she's with that cop guy from Scream 3. So you could do a story about those two and their kids, which would have me a little bit interested again. And the other thing you can do is that I think this is the one thing that personally I think this is the second option that is the thing I think they should do more, which is cancel Scream 7 right now and come back to it years later. Because here's the thing, I don't want them to bust out Scream 7 and look, people will forget about this stuff, but I also think you shouldn't just pump this movie out and try to get it out. Or you can just another option I would say is just reboot the Scream franchise, start over with new characters, fresh new story. You could do that too. So I think those are that's the other option I forgot about is that you have three options there. Either reboot the franchise, try to get Neville Campbell back as Sidney and go back to Hope character and Cop Cat from Scream 3 and their kids, make a story about them, or just cancel the movie and come back to it a couple years later when everything's cooled down. I think those are the options they have, but it just sucks to hear this as a Scream fan because I was really excited for this movie. I love Scream 5 and 6. I thought they did a great job reviving the franchise, those two movies. And I was excited to see where they take the Carpenter sisters, their characters, into the next movie. But yeah, I'll just say those are the options right now, what to do with the franchise. But it just sucks to hear this as a fan. Next thing I want to talk about is Zack Snyder put out a trailer for the new Rebel Moon movie, the sequel to it, Rebel Moon the Scavenger, I think it's called. And I gotta be honest, I'm not really all that excited for the sequel. I mean, I already talked about my review that I wasn't a fan of Rebel Moon. Now, there is an all-rated cut coming out, so I could change my opinion on that movie, and that could change how I cited my interests when it comes to the sequel. But based on this trailer for the Rebel Moon sequel, it just doesn't look all that great to me personally. It looks more of the same Zack Snyder stuff that I just like I said with Zack Snyder, he has his fans, and there are movies I love of his. When it comes to Lost Man, or his nearly final cut of Justice League, or Dawn of the Dead, this is my personal favorite Zack Snyder movie. But I just think he seems to not be able to like changed as a director. What I mean is that I feel like he just doesn't seem to get better as a director. So it just trailer wise, and just based on how I thought about the first Rebel Moon movie, the trailer for Rebel Moon and Scavenger, I'm not excited for, personally for the sequel at all. And I just thought the trailer just wasn't very good. Next thing I want to talk about is that Zack Snyder said that the the always cut of Rebel Moon is going to have more. This was his quote: more sex scenes, more violence, and he said, "I like the fact he compared it to the original RoboCop because that's one of my favorite movies. Because obviously that is an all-way very violent movie, the original RoboCop movie. But I gotta be honest, this makes me less excited for the all-weighted cut of Rebel Moon because when he says it's going to be more sex, more bizarre, weird stuff in the movie, and more violence, I mean, the all-weighted stuff I expect because it's going to be because the Rebel Moon cut we saw in theaters for limited release and on Netflix was a PG-13 cut, so I'm expecting to have more violence. You can tell, and you can tell in the movie when you watch that movie, you can see how they kind of cut away from like when it comes to ass and seeing any blood and all that. And like I said, I like comparing it to original RoboCop, but when he says it has more, this cut's gonna have like more bizarre ideas and more sex scenes, that doesn't make me excited for a long cut of this movie because the issues I had with Rebel Moon had to do story and character wise, and execution how he was telling the story. Like I really hope when he says this is a different movie that it actually makes me invested in the story and characters because I'm a story and character person when it comes to movies, especially as I've gotten older. I'm like, look, you can have a bunch of cool action scenes and like, you can have some like want to see sex scenes in your movie and make it more violent. But at the end of the day, to me, that doesn't make me like excited for a movie. What gets me like into a movie is a story and characters. So I would have preferred if I heard him say like, "Oh, this cut is gonna have more. You're gonna get to know the characters more. You're gonna spend more time with the characters, more in the backstory, and more time in this world." Like saying it has more bizarre ideas because Zack Snyder also this is another thing. Zack Snyder sometimes has some weird ideas in his movies. I mean, I remember like the whole like he had the idea of killing off Jimmy and Batman v Superman in like one scene of the movie that he had that whole idea of Batman and Lois getting together with his where he was going after Justice League and having a kid, I think. And just he like his that and he also had an idea where like the Robin and Batman v Superman was Dick Grayson and his head canon, but the studio said it was Jason Todd. But like just ideas like that where it just I think sometimes he just has very weird ideas for movies. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm excited because of the fact he said it was like he compared it to RoboCop. So I love that movie. There was a RoboCop movie, but it doesn't really make me all that excited. It is like, what if this is like if the only thing that's gonna make this cut different is the fact that it's just more bloodier. It's a bunch of sex scenes and just a bunch of weird ideas. That to me is not going to make me more interested in this cut. Like I'm still going to check out the all way to cut, obviously, because I want to see if it improves the theatrical cut. But I gotta be honest, this doesn't make me, like I said, all that excited. And another thing about Zack Snyder is that he comes off like like he makes movies for teenagers. Like this is stuff that sounds like it would be cool if you're like a teenager, but like I said, for me personally, I'm a story and character person, and I hope this all way cut of Rebel Moon gets me invested in the story and characters. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the fact it's all weighted because you can see a cut away from the violence in the PG-13 cut. But at the end of the day, I'm hoping this cut makes me care about the story and characters more than anything. So that's all the movie news today. Until next time, movie fans.